How you doing? Thanks for tuning in. Making it work. I'm Jimmy if you're new. I want to try to make it entertaining, have some fun, learn a thing or two, but you can only deal the cards you're dealt. Sometimes you get a 2, a 4, a 6, and a 9, all different suits. You just do the best you can, you bluff. Maybe that's what we'll do in this video. Stay tuned, let's see. Brakes and a bearing? Brakes and a bearing. This is a press-in bearing too. Alright, we're gonna have some fun. Customer request, I guess. I didn't look at the vehicle. If someone else did, I'm not sure, but let's take a look. 2014 GL 450 and a love rating of 3. Pocketbook in the car. Don't really care much for that. I prefer to tell people to come get your pocketbook. Can't get to the master cylinder to look at the brake fluid without some disassembly, but we gotta do what we gotta do. I want to see the brake fluid first. It just tucks under the rubber a little bit. Fluid looks a little nasty, but it's full. Let's get a look at what's going on in the back, get this thing in the air. I'm gonna say good call. That wheel bearing is bad. I should take the wheel off and mess with people and make another short, where I just rock the hub without the nuts on it. I think that would be funny. We gotta find the correct Make the Mechanics buy special tools studs. These are all the wheel. Technically these are wheel bolts, not wheel nuts. A lot of European cars, they decided not to have studs for some reason. I got a kit with 3 or 4 different threaded studs that we put in to make studs. While we work on stuff, keep it all aligned. The wheel won't fall to the ground. You just take all these nuts out. A lot of these cars, the hub is so narrow that the wheel would just fall. And that hurts when they bounce off you and stuff. It's a workaround. Convenient running boards, aka work shelf. Yeah. Ooh, there's some air pressure in that thing. I guess the brakes are kind of low. While we're in here, might as well. They're like 5 millimeters or so. And this does have the electric parking brakes, which they're not on, so we can do my process of taking the motor off the caliper like I usually do. Instead of getting the scan tool out and doing a brake preparation and then undoing it when you're done, letting it know you're done. All it really does is screw the screw for you. That's not, a lot of people get mad at me. Why do you do that? That's not how you're supposed to do it. I know. First thing I want to do, get the brake pad sensor disconnected. Yeah, I probably don't have to pull this. This is held on with the Torx. Just trying to think of how I want to get stuff out of my way to make it a little easier. I decided to go ahead and pull it off of there. Just, I'm gonna need a lot of room. So some cars I don't take it off, but these Mercedes, I mean, you never know. This thing decides one day it's mad and puts the brakes on, and if you don't have everything together, it'll just run that motor and could hurt some stuff. So we're not going to take a risk. I think it's a 13. Yeah. Oh, got to get a slim wrench.
And you give me some power tools.
Not too bad. 13 millimeter. You can also use a Torx on these. Hardly worth walking back to the toolbox again. That's why I took the sensor off ahead of time. Especially if you're going to reuse the brakes. But Torx take that motor off of there. Had to set the internet on fire. Ooh, 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 ooh. Is that a hanging caliper? You hack. This is aluminum. It literally weighs about 8 or 10 ounces. The only way it would hurt the hose is if I hang off of it. These are T30s. 2 of those. Stubby little guys. Now again, they make these triple squares 9 millimeters, so 8's loose and 10 doesn't fit. So I used an 8 and just kind of put it on an angle, and it grabs the splines just fine. They're not very hard to turn. Squeeze the piston gently. I gotta take this cover off. Look at that. I forgot Mercedes. They do cool stuff like that. See if we can find a workaround. I think I have a special Mercedes piston compression tool. Found it. Keep it in my specialty drawer. for just such an occasion. I already screwed that all the way until I felt the bottom out by hand. If you use a power tool, be really careful and don't jam it, because the motor won't be able to unjam it. It'll set codes. You just want to do it. If you do jam it, just unjam it. Don't leave it stuck. I'm not going to put the motor back on, so it'll remain light and it won't load the brake hose at all. It's kind of out of my way. I thought I was going to have to hang it to get it out of my way, but nope. Yeah, this brake pad's a little worse than I thought, so that's good. The wear indicators, when they get grounded, puts the light on the dash. I believe the pad bracket's a 17. $18mm, not 17. Dreadlock, love it. Got to keep bolts from falling out somehow. On the edge of your seat yet? I know it's pretty riveting. Wow, wasn't crazy tight. Not even hardly. Could have probably done that with my thumb. Keep in mind when you do these hub bearings, you got to disassemble this whole suspension, all the electrical components, ABS sensors, axles, and bring it over to a press and press everything back and forth with the flange, which they didn't get me a flange, so I definitely got to take the inner race off the flange. I'm surprised they only added an hour to the brake job for it, but it is what it is. Make sure there's no metal on that ABS sensor and all. Now, you got to undo the lower ball joint, the trailing arm, the upper arm, front arm, the axle. I think those are 17. It's hard to tell. It could even be 16s. Like I said, it could even be 18. It's hard to tell. I'm guessing 36mm. It's got to be a 12.2 special axle nut. That'll work. Came right off. It's a big deal. It's not a big deal. When you're taking something this much apart, I prefer to do a wheel alignment too. I'll probably edit most of that out. There you go. There's a few more I gotta do. Make sure there's no other wires here. Okay, that's just, yeah, there's nothing there. That's just a plastic tray to hold rusty salt water stuff into the arm, I guess. I don't think that's really what it's for. I could be wrong. All of these arms are loaded somewhat. Notice that they're all pulling up because the inner bushing is tightened at ride height. Tons of good times. Eyes and ears, people. I do that from the center with a punch so I don't hurt the threads of the axle. If I was putting a new axle in, it wouldn't matter. I was hoping to get the axle out of my way so I can use a socket. Making me a little bit sad, I can't lie. I'm always honest with you guys, maybe too honest sometimes. Look at that thing. That is what I was hoping for. A little bit of axle grease, never hurt anybody. You gotta get to this 12-point nut. I'm guessing it's like a 30 or so. Maybe it's smaller. Oh yeah, not even close. It's like a 26. 15/16 Craftsman. That's the only one I got that fits it. So it's 24mm basically. 15/16 converts over to that. Let's try it. It's not good on your impact, but oh, it spins now. That's terrible news. I might have to put something under here, like a let it down on a jack stand to load the stud into the arm to stop it from spinning. Chryslers do the same thing because Mercedes used to make Chryslers. Sometimes you can just whiz them out and it'll spin faster than the stud. We'll see. I gotta hold this by something good right here. This will probably work. All right. Gave up way too soon earlier. I apologize. My stick-to-itiveness has left the building, I guess. I'm gonna take this over to the press and see what we can do with it. Sometimes there's special fixtures you need to mount these things, and sometimes you can make it work with random pieces of metal and wood. And you just gotta step away while you load the press. This is called the bearing splitter for those of you who don't work in a shop. It barely catches in here. I probably should have slide hammered this off while it was all still attached, but with the axle in there, it's a little bit of a pain. I just figured I would try it this way. It looked like there was room and it just barely will work. So I'm gonna put it so that these steel parts are across these spacer plates. You don't want to do it with the bolts taking the load. You want this cast steel piece to take the load. So we'll open these up, separate it so this hub can fall out. I'll usually put like a garbage can under here to give it a soft landing. Some of this stuff I don't know where it goes, but I'll set you in a nice safe place so you won't get hit in the face with anything. And we'll give it a whirl. Get away with my garbage can, so we'll do rags. Got it. Perfect. Got some tires that are handy for a workbench right here. That works out good. The hard part's going to be getting the inner race off the hub flange, but got a slingshot. These things are great for slingshots. Once the hub's out of the way, you can get your snap ring. Sometimes they pop right out, sometimes they don't. The seal from the bearing's all tweaked out. Really stiff, and it tends to jam in the ring. If I had a smaller screwdriver here, I'd hammer it and get it to turn so it would free up a little bit, but I think we'll get it without a trip to the toolbox. I don't want to muscle it too much. I'm just trying to get it to turn out of the groove. You don't want to rip the metal out of that, but it's up to the snap ring if it wants to cooperate or not. Now when you're going back together, obviously the bearing gets pressed out in the direction of the snap ring. When you're going back together, don't forget to put that on before your hub. It's really important, because the bearing, it probably won't, but it could work its way out of the hub, especially with heat cycling and things like that. Now I'll set the bearing splitter up to be right on the edge of this and not interfere with the bearing pressing out this way. Not a lot of margin for error. But we definitely want as much as we can so we don't hurt the hub, knuckle, or the tool. But I think we'll be okay there. Can't really see, so I'm using my fingers to find the edge of the tool and the edge of that race. It's not perfect science, but it usually works. Sometimes it'll, as you get a load on it. Last little bit should help. Reduce the sound of the crash with a bag of rags. Here it comes. 1 second. There it goes. Now one side of this bearing is magnetized and one side is not. So this side should face the sensor. See how strong it pulls my pocket screwdriver? I'm gonna have to verify which one faces the sensor. The sensor is right here. So whatever side has the reluctor on it, faces that. It says the magnetic side is where the ABS encoder is. Use a paper clip to identify the magnetic side. There's magnetism there, but this side is stronger. With a paper clip, it'll hold it. This side, I can feel the magnetism, but it won't quite hold it. So this side faces the sensor, which is what I thought it should be, but my pocket screwdriver felt a little magnetism. It's kind of weird. I wonder if the magnet in my pocket screwdriver, well, that's encased in plastic, so it shouldn't be going through to that. That's the way it's going in. I'm satisfied with that. Sometimes when everything looks to be binding, I'll relax it and reorganize everything just so we don't have problems. And a lot of these tools I'm using are not straight. They're all years old and they've seen lots of use. Things kind of get tweaked over time. Just like me. Oh, the bearing's tweaked, matter of fact. I gotta get something else to space it out. This goes in about 1/4 of an inch. Snap ring, then we'll get the other piece of the bearing off the hub. Goes in quite a bit easier. Sometimes with a little heat, that race will just, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it does. You're gonna try it.
It's never good when you gotta pull that out.
What's that?
It's never good when you gotta pull that out. I mean, it can't be frozen in a liquid.
Get me a little chisel while it's warm. It's gonna be hot, careful. Can't stay on if it's liquid. Now we got a gap. We'll let that cool a little bit. Well, I heated it and expected it to fall off. It didn't. It doesn't want to come off. It's happy, so we're gonna make it unhappy. We're gonna bearing split it off. Get this gluten tight. It shouldn't be too crazy at this point, but we'll see. Besides, close though. Pop, bang all you want. It's gonna happen. It's just a matter of how disappointed someone's gonna be when it's all said and done. I do have my rags underneath, but this is also a little bit hot. So let me grab my pliers. I want to get it off the melting rags quick. I could grab the hub with this, but I'm not going to do that. I don't want to put my face in there. Although we're most of the way off, why take the risk? Just let it fall. Part of the excitement anyway. That's nice. It bounced right off the rags. Perfect. I put a little clean engine oil on the hub. Snap rings in. Everything should be good. I do have to put something underneath to support the bearing so it doesn't push the inside race out of the bearing. But I just wanted to get it started. See, there's a gap from the bearing to where this is. So I need to find something that will fit, hold that, and let me press it down without taking everything apart that I didn't want it to. Might prove to be a little bit of a challenge, but we'll find something. I think this will work. Want it dead center. I don't want to press on the reluctor. Then we'll have a problem. Recenter it. Make sure there's no damage. Everything looks good. Get this back on and it'll just be a brake job after that. Pub's still a little warm, so not blazing hot, but still want to grab it. Alright. Assembly is the reverse of removal, so I've been told. Next, I believe I put the axle in, get one of those upper arms in place. It's definitely a little bit of a spring load on the inner cup that's really strong. Usually you can slide these things in no problem. Let's see if my smaller pry bar and a fire truck will help me out. Just that last little bit I can't get by hand. This is gonna go in first, I think. That's how I did it. Oh, the cool thing is, you probably don't have to worry about alignment. This has the tapered bushings that go into a taper in the knuckle, so might not be too big of a deal. Want this on the same way too. How'd it go? You remember? I don't remember. This must go onto the arm. I think this piece fits on the arm like this, so it doesn't turn and things. Ooh. I am earning an hour on this one, I'll tell you what. After I get the rotor on, I'm gonna have to see where all the splash shield alignment stuff happens. Tweaked it a couple of places real slightly, nothing too terrible, but ABS sensor, and the guide pins back. The German cars require the German pins. Although these are probably made in China, I'm not sure. Clean these off a little bit. There's a 27 for that works. These pads don't come with hardware, so we got to clean what we got and pop them out. I'll wire brush under them, put them back, and then wire brush the top. Fast and Furious, bro. Go. How you doing, man?
Hey, buddy. How's it going?
Very good. How's it going by you?
Pretty good, pretty good. We're behind every single day, you know?
Yep. All right, man. Come on. Let's do this. I'm going to use a power tool this time. I'm so motivated. I went over my toolbox and got a 3/8 so I can just spin it in with my quarter drive, I hope. Arms in the way. Just trying to save a little elbow grease. My elbows are out of grease, that's the problem, so. Lubricate them slides. This thing's all but done. And Matt Command's like, where's everybody at? I said, they're up front sleeping. He's like, what? That's not Frankie. He's cleaning the trash while the other guy's asleep. Oh man, it's cool. Got my little 13 quarter drive, save some grease there too. Seems to me it'll be a little easier to put the motor on after having it in place. The motor's kind of trapped back here, but the bolts aren't real hard to get at. I'm gonna try it this way. I took it apart a different way, but 2 Allen bolts, well, Torx. They kind of look like Allens, and an Allen will take them on and off. And that one is slightly larger. I think that was 30. Yeah. This goes in that holder. This goes in that holder. This was bolted here with this. Let me, this might be easier to plug in now. Piece of cake, baby. Come on. E10 Torx socket. I was rearranging my toolbox drawer this morning because there was nothing else to do. And I was going over all my little Torx. There's like 5 different kinds of Torx sockets. This is repetitive, so this is going to happen way faster. Bam! Whoop. Forgot something. Now I mean it. Alright guys, we are buttoning it up for today. Thanks for watching. Torque the like button before you head out if you would, if you got something from the video. Subscribe if you're new. Tons of new subscribers and views this week. I really appreciate the support. I hope I see you in another video, because you're awesome.